Good morning, scholars. Today is Tuesday, April 14th, 2020, day 11 of Mr. Correa's Math Virtual Learning. Today, we're going to work on identifying attributes of shapes. But before we jump into today's lesson, I think it'd be a good idea to do a quick brain activator. I'm going to give you 20 problems for you to solve in 2 minutes. You can pause the computer, grab your timers, set it for 2 minutes, and see how fast you can knock those problems out. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, excellent job, scholars. I'm pretty sure you knocked those facts out before the 2 minutes was up. Let's move on. Okay, so just a quick reminder. So today we're going to be working on identifying the attributes of shapes. And we touched some of this yesterday, working on polygons. And remember, we learned that polygons were closed figures with vertices and straight sides, which we call line segments. And below we have some polygons. We have a triangle, a star, and also a square. So when we talk about attributes of shapes, I want you to think of features. For example, I have a face below. The attributes of this face, or the features of this face, we can say is the face has eyes, which is an attribute or feature. It has a nose, which is an attribute or feature, and also has lips, which is in a smile, which is an attribute or feature. So let's take that knowledge and apply it to shapes. What shape are we looking at right now? Exactly, this is a square. And an attribute of a square can be its vertices or corners and its sides. How many vertices does this square have? Excellent job. This square has 4 vertices. Let's highlight them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we identified an attribute of this square, which is 4 vertices. Let's see if we can identify how many sides. How many sides does this shape have? It does have 4 sides. Let's see if we can highlight those 4 sides. Here we go. That's 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides, and 4 sides. Excellent job, scholars, identifying the attributes of this square. Let's move on to another shape. Okay, so right now we're looking at a what? Exactly, this is a pentagon. Let's look at the attributes of a pentagon. How many vertices and sides does a pentagon have? Let's identify. Let's identify the vertices. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we just highlighted each corner of the pentagon, which is also called a vertices. And how many sides does this pentagon have? Yes, it has 5 sides. Let's identify the 5 sides. Here we go. You ready? Side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4, and side 5. So the attributes of this pentagon is it has 5 vertices and 5 sides. Excellent job, scholars. Let's move on. Okay, so another attribute we're going to talk about is something called parallel sides. Now, when you hear the word parallel sides, I want you to think of the opposite sides of the letter H. So here's my letter H, and these are the opposite sides that I'm talking about here. Let's highlight them. These will be the parallel, or this would be the parallel side lengths of the letter H. Okay? So parallel lines, they always travel in pairs, which is two lines, and they go in any direction, but they never touch. And below I have 4 examples of pairs of parallel lines. We have parallel lines, top and bottom, parallel lines running left and right, running vertically, up and down. We have also a diagonal set of parallel lines. All right, let's move on. Let's see if we can identify the attribute of parallel lines with this rectangle. How many sets of parallel lines can you identify? Excellent job. You should see 2 sets of parallel lines. Here's one set, which is top and bottom. And here's another set, which is left and right. Now, if you notice how the purple highlighted side lengths, which are the top and bottom, are never touching each other and they're going in the same direction. This is what makes them parallel. And it goes for the same, the left and right side, which we highlighted in yellow. All right. What shape are we looking at here? Exactly. This is a hexagon. Can you identify any attributes of parallel sides within this hexagon? Let's see. Well, we have one set, which is top and bottom lines. They're opposite and going in the same direction. There's another set, which is diagonal. Both of these lines are opposite of each other and they're going in the same direction. And last but not least, here is the last set of parallel lines on this hexagon. So if you identify 3 sets of parallel lines, you're doing a great job. Excellent job, scholars. Okay, so the next attribute we're going to talk about is called right angles or 90-degree angles. And when you hear right angles or 90-degree angles, I want you to think of the letter L. Right below we have the letter L. Notice how to make it L, we draw a line vertically and then connecting line horizontal. Now here's the funny thing about right angles. These L's can go in any direction. It can be a backwards L, it can be an upside down L. All right? Let's practice finding 90-degree angles on shapes. Okay? So right now we're looking at our square, right? Okay. Can you spot any 90-degree angles or any lines that connect to each other that looks like an L? And remember, those L's can be in any direction. Well, let's see if we can spot them together. All right. Here's one 90-degree angle. Can you see that L shape right here I'm highlighting? Excellent job. Here's another 90-degree angle, which is a backwards L. All right. Here is another 90-degree angle. Let me see if I can change that color. And here's another 90-degree angle. So this square has a total of 4 right angles or 90-degree angles. Excellent job, scholars. What about this triangle? Does it have any right angles? Excellent job. Where do you see it? Yes, the bottom left. Looks like we have an L shape right here at the bottom left vertices. Excellent job spotting 90-degree angles. What about this triangle? Does it have any 90-degree angles? Well, if we look closely at each vertices, it doesn't look like we have any vertical lines that make the L shape. Yeah. No. So this triangle does not have any 90-degree angles. Excellent job, scholar. Let's move on. So right now we're looking at a what? A pentagon. How many attributes can you list for this pentagon? Go ahead and take 1 minute and list as many attributes as you can for this pentagon. Okay, I'm going to erase some attributes that I came up with, and let's see if they match yours. Are you ready? Attribute 1. Yes. Did you say 5 vertices? Excellent job. Let's highlight those vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 vertices. Let's see what is another attribute. Did you say 5 sides as well? Excellent job. Let's highlight those 5 sides. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the attributes of a pentagon is that it has 5 sides and 5 vertices. Let's try another shape. So right now we're looking at a what? A rectangle. Let's list as many attributes as we can for this rectangle. Go ahead and take 1 minute. All right, scholars. Let's see. The first attribute that I came up with was, of course, 4 vertices. Did you come up with the same thing? Excellent job. Let's highlight those vertices. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is another attribute that you found? All right, 4 sides. Let's highlight those 4 sides and make sure. You're doing an awesome job identifying attributes, scholars. 1, 2, 3, and 4 sides. Excellent job. Let's see, what is another attribute for a rectangle? 2 sets of parallel lines. Were you able to identify 2 sets of parallel lines? Excellent job. We see 1 set, which is top and bottom. Opposite lines, not touching, running in the same direction. And also left and right. Excellent job. There's one more attribute Mr. Correa found. Let's see. It has 4 90-degree angles. And if you notice, when I circled the vertices are connected with straight line segments that run vertical and horizontal. And that makes 4 90-degree angles on a rectangle. Excellent job. Let's try one more shape. Okay, so right now we're looking at a hexagon. Let's go ahead and take 1 minute to list as many attributes as possible for this hexagon. All right, here we go. Let's see what the first attribute is. 6 vertices. Thumbs up if you were able to find 6 vertices. Excellent job. Let's highlight them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 vertices. What is another attribute you found? All right, 6 side lengths. Let's highlight those and make sure. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 side lengths as an attribute for this hexagon. Are there any more attributes we can list? Wow, parallel lines. How many sets of parallel lines did you find? Let's see. Well, here's one set, top and bottom. Here's another set which is running diagonal in the same direction. And here is another set which is opposite, not touching, and running in the same direction. So in all, we found 3 sets of parallel lines on a hexagon. Excellent job, scholars, identifying attributes of certain shapes. So just a quick summary of today's lesson. We know that attributes are features of a shape, similar to how a face has features like a nose, lips, mouth, and eyes. Some of the attributes we talked about today were vertices, side lengths, and parallel lines. And I don't want you to forget, scholars, that what makes a shape a polygon, which is it being a closed figure, it has vertices and side lengths, those are also considered attributes as well. I want you all to have a safe day today and make sure you keep your brains on. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.